Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we untangle the financial mysteries that make your head spin. This time, we're diving into a filing that is a bit of a roller coaster for AIxCrypto Holdings Inc. And let's just say things got a little dicey with Nasdaq. So imagine you are running a company and suddenly you get a letter from the stock market saying you messed up. That is pretty much what happened here. Stick around because this filing sheds light on some crucial shakeups and whether the company is still playing by the rules. Before we dive in too deep, if you enjoy getting these no-nonsense breakdowns of corporate filings, make sure you are subscribed. We also have a fantastic Discord community for more in-depth discussions, and you'll find the link in the description below. The big news that landed on the 18th of November 2025 is that AIxCrypto Holdings Inc. received a letter from Nasdaq. Now, this isn't just a friendly hello. This letter is about their compliance with certain, well, let's call them game rules for being listed on the stock market. Specifically, Nasdaq flagged a problem with shareholder approval requirements. Think of it like this sometimes, when a company issues new shares, especially if it really changes who is in charge or how much power certain people have, they need to get the green light from their shareholders first. Nasdaq believes AIxCrypto failed to do this in connection with a private placement deal, or PIPE financing that wrapped up back on the 29th of September 2025. What was this deal? It was a $41 million cash offering. Investors bought the company's common stock and a new type of stock called Series B convertible preferred stock. The common stock went for $2.246 a share, and the preferred stock was priced at a much higher $1,000 per share. Now, here is a key detail to avoid issues. The shares were doled out so that no single buyer ended up owning more than 19.99% of the outstanding common stock. This is a common move to prevent any one investor from gaining too much control, or at least to try and avoid triggering certain rules. But here is where it gets interesting. Nasdaq pointed to a series of changes that happened around the same time. First, on the 26th of September, a new independent board member was appointed, tied to an agreement with an investor named Faraday Future Intelligent Electric Inc. This appointment led to 3 of the company's 5 directors stepping down. Then, on the 2nd of October, 2 more people joined the board. One of them is also on Faraday's board, and the other holds a significant position within a Faraday affiliate. This means nearly half of AIxCrypto's board now has ties to Faraday. On that same day, they also brought in Jiawei Wang as Chief Executive Officer and Cody Mecca as Chief Financial Officer. And guess what? Both of them already hold similar top positions at Faraday Future Intelligent Electric Inc. Nasdaq's letter essentially claims that these combined events, particularly the issuance of shares in the PIPE financing, constituted a change of control of AIxCrypto, and that shareholder approval should have been sought beforehand. The company, however, disputes that these changes were directly linked to the financing, especially concerning the appointment of a specific director on the 26th of September. Now, here is a twist that brings some relief. While Nasdaq initially flagged this as a problem, they also stated in the same letter that the company had actually obtained majority shareholder approval before the offering. Because of this, Nasdaq determined that the deficiency was fixed and the company is back in compliance with the shareholder approval rule. So surprisingly, the matter is now considered closed. The company is filing this report mainly to disclose, as required, that they received this notification from Nasdaq. But wait, there is more. On the 19th of November, the company received another formal notice, this time saying they are in compliance with a different rule, Listing Rule 5550B, one which is about the continued listing of their securities on the Nasdaq Capital Market tier. This means their stock is still listed and trading on Nasdaq. However, they will be under something called a panel monitor for 1 year. What does being a panel monitor mean? It is essentially a probationary period. If during this year, the company fails to continue meeting the listing rules, they won't get another chance to submit a plan to fix things. Instead, they'll have to go straight to a formal hearing with the Nasdaq hearing panel. This is a more serious process and could put their listing at risk. And finally, the report is signed off by Kevin A. Richardson too, who holds the title of Co-Chief Executive Officer. This is all part of the official process to confirm these events. So, what is the story here? AIxCrypto Holdings Inc. found itself in a bit of hot water with Nasdaq over a financing deal and subsequent leadership changes that Nasdaq viewed as a change of control requiring shareholder approval. While they initially faced a potential issue, it seems they managed to get their shareholders backing beforehand, closing that particular chapter. However, they're now on a 1-year watch list, which means they need to be extra careful to stick to Nasdaq's rules. Looking at AIxCrypto, the company is clearly in a period of significant strategic shifts, evidenced by the financing and the appointed leadership with strong ties to Faraday Future Intelligent Electric Inc. This suggests a potential deepening of their relationship or even an integration of some kind. which could be a strength if it leads to shared resources and expertise. However, the risk here is clear, navigating these transitions without tripping further regulatory wires. The panel monitor status is a flashing warning light. They have to maintain strict compliance and any slip up could lead to a much more serious dialogue with Nasdaq. In conclusion, AIxCrypto is undergoing a substantial pivot, possibly with a strategic alliance or merger on the horizon, given the leadership appointments. The immediate threat from Nasdaq seems to be averted for now. But the heightened scrutiny for the next year is a significant hurdle. Investors should watch closely how they manage their compliance and the full integration of their new leadership structure. Alright, that is our breakdown of AIxCrypto Holdings' latest filing. What is your take on these leadership changes and the company's regulatory dance with Nasdaq? Do you see this as a risky maneuver or a strategic step forward? Drop your thoughts in the comments below if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribing ensures you don't miss our future deep dives. And don't forget to join the conversation on our Discord channel. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.